This meeting to order. Let the roll call show that all board members are present. This is a period for public comment and public comment prior to closed session. This public comment time is reserved for individuals who may wish to address the governing board regarding a matter that is not on the agenda. If you wish to address the board about an item that is on the agenda, please do so when the agenda item is called. The board respects the rights of all community members to praise, criticize, or otherwise discuss matters related to the district's business. However, we kindly ask that individuals speak in a respectful manner that is consistent with the district's welcoming and professional culture. Complaints against specific district employees should be resolved through the district's personnel complaint procedure. The right to address the board does not exempt the speaker from any potential liability for defamation. Public comment will be limited to a maximum of 3 minutes per person, a limit of approximately 450 words, with a total of 30 minutes designated for this portion of the agenda. At this point, Ms. Samay.
Good evening, Superintendent David Laddick, Anthony Silva, board members. Tonight, I'm here to address a very serious matter. I will start to kind of give you guys a brief idea on what transparency, tampering, and giving the community, parents, the stakeholders, the rights to what they are entitled to. The Browns Act, officially known as the Ralph M. Brown Act, is a California law that assures the public's right to attend and participate in meetings of local legislative bodies, enacted in 1953. Open meetings, all meetings of a legislative body must be open and public, allowing anyone to attend and participate. Agenda requirements must be posted at least 72 hours before a regular meeting, detailing the items to be disclosed. That means to us, not to yourselves. Public comments. The public must be given an opportunity to comment on any item on the agenda before or during the body's consideration of the item, which we're not been given that opportunity. The Browns Act aims to prevent decisions being made in secret and assures that the public is informed about the working of their local government, which we're still in the dark. 2 weeks ago, you guys all came in and voted on something that was not put on the agenda, putting certain people in certain departments that the community was not aware of. And I am the community, I am a stakeholder. I'm very disappointed in that. I am urging the board members, as of today, to go into your closed session and take this Brown Act very serious, because this can cause someone to go into a charge of felony or imprisonment. We cannot make choices or appoint anybody unless the district opens up those positions for employment. And as far as our superintendent or any other positions, I have not seen them online being opened up to the community. Thank you.
Consuelo Roman.
Good afternoon, board members. My name is Consuelo Roman, and I am a disappointed parent of a Cuban high school student. I wanted you to be aware that a complaint has been made to HR about the bus transportation from Pittman High School to San Francisco on April 9th. I personally feel as a mother of this, her first time being, this is a one-time in a lifetime trip for seniors, and I personally feel that this was very inhumane and it was not resolved appropriately. The attention that these students needed was not met. I mean, I would feel as a parent, if you are receiving a text message from your child saying, we can't breathe, anxiety is kicking high, not enough water, food, it's gonna be a concern for their safety and their well-being. I do hope that you guys can investigate this matter as soon as possibly and find whoever is accountable to please have them be accountable for this. Thank you all very much for your time.
I believe we're looking into that. Is there anyone else that would like to speak to the board?
May I come up, sir?
Come front.
Good evening. My name is Kelly Coelho. I wanted to address the board, so thank you for having me out here today. First and foremost, I wanted to address a few things. First and foremost, with yesterday's incident at Dutcher Elementary School. I went out there directly and spoke to an individual at the school just to figure out what was going on because there was a lot of stuff circulating in the community. So I did my due diligence as a private investigator in the community and went out and spoke to them and gathered my own evidence. During that time, I was a little disappointed that, we as a community aren't doing our due diligence and ensuring that our schools are safe. And so I'm asking for an investigation, complete investigation, not at your discretion, basically having a third party come out and do a proper investigation into the safety and security of our schools in Turlock. Not just that, is on another separate matter, on a personal matter, my daughter has been being bullied at a school, multiple schools in the Turlock Unified School District over the last few years. As I've gathered my own evidence, I've been able to gather that there's been numerous, not only students, but also staff members that have bullied my child and targeted my child, falsifying documents and putting those things in her file. When I went to USD to get that information and asked if they could be removed, instead of picking and choosing what they were going to be removed, there was, obviously the whole file was removed. So I would like an investigation done into retroactively going back all the way from my daughter attending to USD until current. We recently tried to put her in Sacred Heart. She was denied. After she was being bullied, items were placed in her file falsely. And to this day, I appreciate the professionals of David Laddick, who's contacted me late at night just to have conversations. But I'm sorry, but that doesn't stop there. There's other answers that me as a parent want, and it's not even just about my child, it's other students in our community that are suffering. And I'm gonna tell you, I will not stop, especially for my child and any other person in this community. We just saw an overturn of Turlock Christian, as you guys know, I was the lead investigator on that matter, and we have overturned a few members. And I want to ensure that students in our community are safe, and I'm gonna ensure that my daughter gets justice served here. And so that being said, I'm asking you guys to do a full investigation into that matter, to include the investigation into Dutcher and ensuring that the students are safe and having proper training. I don't think these individuals were properly trained to handle matters like that. And you waited how many hours to do a lockdown? What if it was something that was more? How did we know somebody was not hiding behind a building, right? That there should have been automatic safety plan and measure. These people should have been fully trained. Nobody was trained. So you tell me if you think that me as a parent in the Turlock Unified School District feel that my child is safe, including everybody else's. Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to address the board? If not, we'll recess into closed session until approximately 6:45. I'd like to report that no action was taken in closed session. For inspiration tonight, Mr. Barone from Walnut Elementary.
Good evening, everyone. Members of the board, Superintendent Laddick, Cabinet. It's our pleasure to be here tonight to present the inspiration for the trait of responsibility. And it is my honor to introduce Walnut 6th grade student Carter DeRose. Carter is here tonight with his parents, Mike and Sandy. Carter's teachers state the following. Carter is the kind of student, teammate, and friend who leads not just with his words, but with his actions. Responsibility isn't just something he demonstrates, it's woven into who he is. Every assignment he turns in is not only on time, but done with effort and care, reflecting his unwavering commitment to excellence. He never gives less than 110%, whether he's solving a tough math problem, contributing to a class discussion, or giving his all on the soccer field. What makes Carter truly stand out is his heart. He treats everyone with kindness and respect, always looking out for his classmates, supporting his friends, and ensuring that no one is left behind. Even while balancing the demands of multiple competitive soccer teams, he remains dedicated to his academics, proving that hard work, discipline, and a strong moral compass can make anything possible. Carter's future is as bright as his character, and we are beyond proud to honor him today for his outstanding responsibility. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Carter DeRose.
Good evening, members of the school board, teachers, and parents. My name is Carter DeRose, and I'm honored to be here tonight to talk about the character trait of responsibility. Responsibility means doing what you're supposed to do, even when it's hard or when no one is watching. It's about being reliable, making good choices, and following through on commitments. For me, responsibility shows up in many parts of my life. At home, I make sure to do my chores, whether it's taking out the trash, cleaning my room, or taking care of our pets. At school, I stay on top of my homework and always try my best because I know my education is important for my future. And on the soccer field, I work hard at practice and give it my all in games, not just for myself, but for my teammates count on me. Being responsible isn't always easy. Sometimes I'd rather play video games than study or relax, instead of going to practice. But I've learned that responsibility is about making the right choices, even when they're tough. When I stay committed to my responsibilities, I feel proud of what I accomplish, and know I'm earning the trust of my teachers, coaches, and family. Responsibility is important because it helps us become dependable people. When we take responsibility for our actions, we show that we can be trusted to do the right thing. It helps us succeed in school, in sports, and in life. And most importantly, it sets an examples for others to do the same. I want to thank my teachers, coaches, and family for helping me grow into a responsible person. And I encourage everyone to practice responsibility every day because it helps us all become better students, teammates, and members of our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Winters?
Good evening, everyone. It is my great honor to recognize Mia Silva. She is a 6th grade student in Mrs. Silvera's class at Walnut. Mia is a great example of a responsible scholar at Walnut. She consistently demonstrates great work habits and effort in the classroom, completing her assignments on time and actively participating in all activities. Mia serves on our RAD leadership team, where she is responsible for various activities for the entire school. She has helped with writing and performing character trait skits, creating promotional posters for our kindness challenges, supporting students before school on our safety patrol, and countless other RAD activities. Her ability to serve as a role model for her peers is commendable. She often works alongside them, offering support whenever needed. Mia always brings a wonderful sense of humor and kindness to our school, making it a more positive environment for everyone. She is a great example of a responsible Walnut Scholar, and we are grateful to have her as part of our school community. Now Mia is going to lead us in the flag salute.
Ready, salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Me and Carter would like to join us for photo sometimes here, please. Please feel free to join. Absolutely. Please feel free to join. Parents, please feel free to join.
Oh, that was so good. I'll let you take pictures of Good job, guys.
Again, I'd like to thank Dan and Carter for their role in this inspiration tonight. Next we have Miss Amy, I believe it's admission.
Okay, I'll read the vision. All students will become self-motivated, responsible citizens who graduate college and are career ready.
Thank you. Let the roll call show that all board members are present at this time. Well, before we have a motion to approve the agenda, I'd like to announce that we'll be pulling item 30 from the agenda. Item 30 from the agenda. Okay, if I can have a motion?
I move to accept the agenda without using them.
It's been moved and seconded. This is a roll call vote. Ms. Carlson?
Aye.
Ms. Jackson? Ms. Amy?
Aye.
Ms. Martinez?
Aye.
Ms. Ramirez?
Aye.
Mr. Shields? Aye. And the board president votes aye. Motion carries to approve the agenda. Next, we'll recognize and accept donations from various groups. And first up is Dr. Klein.
President Silva, members of the Board of Trustees, Superintendent Laddick, Academy members, student representatives, good evening. First, I'd like to acknowledge the Starlight Video Services. They donated $2,500 for a portion of the video services provided for Turlock High School's every 15-minute student program. Larry Popolizo, who represented Starlight Video Services, couldn't be here tonight, but we do want to acknowledge them. The every 15 minutes is a very moving program, and hopefully it'll achieve its intended outcome by keeping our young ones making safe choices. And so at $2,500, thank you very much to Starlight Video Services. I'd also like to call up Turlock Sunrise Rotary. All two of our friends. Good evening. All right. It's recommended the Board of Trustees accept a donation from Turlock Sunrise Rotary valued at $1,500 for the Every 15 Minutes program and $1,000 to our boys basketball program. As always, the Sunrise Rotary has been very generous and we're very much appreciative by all that you've given to our schools. Thank you so much.
President Silva, members of the board. I don't want to take much time, but I do want to say this is the 25th year that we have had Every 15 Minutes. The program started in 2000 and I was part of its inception. And from that time on, Turlock Sunrise Rotary has donated money for Turlock High Schools every 15 minutes, Pittman Highs every 15 minutes, as well as volunteers and other things. But it's a big program. I've talked to students throughout the years. It's made an impact. And I'd also like to recognize our Turlock High School's SRO, Jessica, and she did a phenomenal job. And I hope if you get the opportunity that you are able to actually see it. It does have an impact on students, and I talked to many students after this year's program that were moved. And so if we can save one student or more students from drinking and driving, it's achieved its mission. Thank you.
We have to take a photo. We have a photo out here.
Come on, Jessica.
Sure. Ms. Pollard, I think it also saves some adult lives too.
Well done.
I think it makes an impact. Thanks again. Sure, go right ahead.
I just wanted, the second portion of that with the boys basketball team and helping our crowd get event. The Sunrise Rotary really depends on that event as one of our major fundraisers, if not our largest fundraiser. And these guys were instrumental in doing that. They have to prepare this meal that I think it was about, I forget how many people, over 600 people at this event. And they were the ones physically cracking the crab and prepping it and everything. It's not a job that I like to do, and so I'm glad that they did it. But they were instrumental in this. And it was one of our biggest fundraisers that we've had in our club history. So I just really wanted to go on the record that they were instrumental and such a great help for that. So thanks again.
Next, Ms. Freeman.
Good evening, President Silva, Board of Trustees, Superintendent, of course, Cabinet and students, as always. I love coming up here, and I feel like we get to come up quite a bit, Dave and I, for recognizing community members that are donating to our programs. And so we have the Arrowhead Club here with us tonight. We have Julian Talamonte. So Julian, if you'd like to come up and join me. And then also we have Coach Souza, our water polo coach, Justin Souza. I'm gonna have him come up here as well. But Arrowhead Club donated $1,650 for Pittman High School's water polo training equipment. And so I know they have a little bit that they would like to say. Do you want me to recommend it first, or do you want to have them speak first, Mr. Silva?
Go ahead, recommend it.
Okay, so it's recommended the Board of Trustees accept a donation from Arrowhead Club valued at $1,650 for Pittman High School water polo training equipment.
I'm Julian Talamonte. I'm one of the board members of the Arrowhead Club. Just a few things about us. We've been around since 1998. I think most of you know. I think total we've donated about $305,000 to TUSD programs. Total funding, I think, is just shy of $1.5 million since 1998. Most of our funds come from three big events. One of which is coming up, our 50th annual golf tournament. So yeah, just we love the sport community and love the community supporting us. So thank you.
Hello, I'm Justin
Justin Souza. I'm the girls box coach at Pittman High School. I really just wanted to come on behalf of our program and say thank you for the donation. We're very proud of our program, everything that we've been able to do, the amount of students that we're able to serve throughout the summer and between our two sports and our winter activities. And donations like this really help us do what we love to do, and that's serve students and help them have opportunities that help them grow as individuals and as athletes. So thank you very much.
Community wants to speak, public.
Yeah.
Browns Act law.
Well, let's finish this item here first.
Well, it's in regards to this matter, sir. So will you allow us to speak or not?
Well, we'll do the photo first.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, if we can have a motion.
I move to accept the community donations as presented.
I second the motion.
It's been moved in second. All in favor, say aye. Whoa. Excuse me. Mrs. May, you'd like to comment, please?
Yes. First, I'd like to thank for all the donation to the Pittman High School. However, the $1,650 coming coming from Arrow to Pittman High, and the donation that was also made previously, can we get some as to who's the responsible party that's handling the money and where the donations are exactly going to? Because we still don't have our football field completed, and we also are lacking uniforms in our basketball, girls basketball for Pittman High School League. Thank you.
We'll have someone get back to you on that.
Thank you.
This is a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Board President votes aye. Motion carries. And again, thank you to the community for all the things that you discussed. Next is the presentation of Walnut Elementary. Mr. Burley.
Yes, good evening once again. At this time, I would like to welcome up two of our amazing Walnut teachers. Our 6th grade lead teacher, Danielle Silvera, and our 4th grade lead teacher, Becky Russell.
Good evening, President Silva, other members of the school board, Superintendent Laddick, faculty, families, and community members, and past Walnut students as well. As we were already introduced, I'm Danielle Silvera, the 6th grade teacher of the Visual Performing Arts Magnet.
Becky Russell, 4th grade Math Science Magnet.
Thank you for the opportunity tonight to speak with you. We are proud to represent a truly unique and inspiring learning community, Walnut Elementary. A school that stands as a shining example of what is possible when innovation, collaboration, and creativity come together in education. At Walnut, we are more than just a K-6 school. We are a dual magnet learning hub where math science and visual performing arts intersect to create rich, engaging, transformative experiences for our students. Our school culture is one where imagination meets inquiry, and every child is encouraged to explore, question, perform, create, and discover.
What makes Walnut so special is the way that we weave these two magnets together. Whether it's using tap dance to demonstrate sound waves and scientific principles, or applying mathematical thinking into design and creating visual art projects. Our students are constantly connecting concepts that deepen their understanding and spark their passion for learning. A key extension to our magnet school is the elective program that we have, where elective classes are created and taught by our talented teachers. These enrichment classes span a wide range of topics from digital art, musical theater, coding, hands-on science, choreography, science Olympiad, and so many more. These enrichment electives allow students to explore personal passions, build confidence, and make meaningful connections between what they learn in class and the world around them.
Our classroom and campus spaces are places of active learning where students are not just absorbing information, but living it. This starts each morning with a school-wide community building that we do daily with our morning opening. It's woven into all of our classrooms, whether it's kindergarten building their first science model or sixth graders performing an original monologue inspired by ancient civilizations. Every student finds their voice and their confidence. These experiences don't happen by chance. They happen because of our dedicated staff, our support staff, campus supervisors, and all of the office staff who go above and beyond every single day. They collaborate across grade levels and subject areas, invest countless hours planning, experimenting, and reflecting, all so our students can thrive. Their hard work ensures that learning at Walnut is never one size fits all. Instead, it's active, hands-on, and full of meaningful experiences.
At Walnut, we foster a school celebrating creativity, curiosity, and community. We believe in giving students the tools to succeed academically and the freedom to express who they are, where they don't just learn, but they love to learn. We are proud of the vibrant, inclusive, and inspiring environment, and we are deeply grateful for the continued support of the school board, the district leadership. Together, we are shaping future scientists, artists, leaders, and thinkers, one Magneteer at a time. Here is a short video showcasing the Magneteer experience created by current and former Walnut students. They created and filmed the interviews, they had creative song choice, and completely edited the video. Thank you so much.
great presentation. Good things are going on at your school. You're to be commended. Thanks again. I'd like to thank Ms. Severa and Ms. Russell also for your participation. Thank you. Any staff reports? Oops, excuse me. Superintendent's report.
All right, thank you, President Silva, good evening, members of the board. It has been a challenging past couple of days considering the incident at Dutcher Middle School yesterday. I'd like to publicly recognize the level of concern and fear of the situation presented for our students, staff, and parents. We certainly don't ever want our students or staff in such a situation. This incident has resulted in us reviewing our policies, practices, and responses to our daily campus safety routines. I also want to ensure the public that we take these matters seriously and do everything we can to communicate in a timely manner with as accurate information as possible. I am grateful for the response of TPD in assisting the school site, particularly Officer Clark for being there, and the work of Principal Robert Reese and his team in communicating the incident to the Dutcher community. Most of all, I am thankful nobody was injured or worse. Tonight on the consent calendar, we have several resolutions this evening. I just want to take a minute to recognize the upcoming week of the classified employee, the National Teacher Week, California Day of the Teacher, National School Nurses Day, and the Day of the School Principal. I want to say thank you and recognize our classified employees who open and close our schools each day. They bring our students to school and take them home. They feed them breakfast and lunch. They communicate with our families and provide technology support as needed. Our classified staff ensures our facilities are maintained and safe. They support our students' learning and look out for their physical, social, and emotional well-being. I want to say thank you and recognize our teachers as they have the most profound impact on our students' academic success. They provide inspiration to learning and motivate our young scholars to achieve at high levels. Our teachers partner with parents to build collaborative relationships with our families. They intervene by reteaching when necessary, and they too look out for our students' physical, social, and emotional well-being. I want to say thank you to and recognize our school nurses. They promote the health of all children to increase student achievement. They provide health-related supports to children with medically fragile conditions. They participate as valuable members of intervention teams and work to ensure health care is provided as necessary. Nurses are also valuable members of our school communities as they also look out for our students' physical, social, and emotional well-being. Finally, I want to say thank you and recognize our school principals as they communicate effectively with parents to engage them as partners in their children's education. They serve as educational leaders responsible for managing the policies, regulations, and procedures necessary to ensure a safe and effective learning environment. Our principals work to ensure every child has access to a high-quality education while looking out for their physical, social, and emotional well-being. Barney and I rode with bus driver Anthony Agoniga this morning on his route. I wanted to get a first-hand experience of the work our bus drivers do, and Mr. Agoniga demonstrated his professional skill set masterfully. It is clear his years of experience provide a safe and timely ride for young Earl Explorers and members of the Pittman Pride. We got to ride on one of the new electric buses. Thank you to Anthony, Dolores, and the transportation team for scheduling this opportunity to learn more about the work of our bus drivers. And lastly, gotta say happy birthday to our board president, Sylvia.
Thank you, Superintendent Bowden. Student reports, I believe we start with Ms. Vargas, is that right? Turlock High School.
Good evening, Interim Superintendent Laddick, President Silva, and members of the board. Thank you for this opportunity to share the events and accomplishments happening at Turlock High School. ASB is hosting a school-wide Golden Egg Hunt on Thursday. 16 members of ASB attended the Friend to Friend conference in Modesto on April 11th. Students from all over the county came together to learn about mental health, the dangers of social media, and other issues that impact students. James Kolar of Turlock High's NJROTC Air Rifle Team qualified for the Civilian Mannequinship National Championship. This is an honor for the top shooters in the nation. He will travel to Camp Perry, Ohio in June to compete. Way to go, James, and we know he's going to represent Turlock very well. THS Jazz Ensemble performed in their final festival this past Friday at Stan State, and they received a rating of superior. We also had 4 students who auditioned for and were accepted into the Stanislaus County Honor Jazz Band. They performed on Saturday night to close off the festival. The drama department just closed a very successful run of the Lightning Thief on Thursday, and students were also able to attend Pittman High's performance of Hadestown on Sunday. We loved it, and we're happy that the 2 groups were able to support each other's performances. The drama department will be participating in our Art and Soul show on April 16th. We will be performing musical theater pieces from 5:15 to 5:45. Come out to the Visual and Performing Arts Fair and see what our departments have to offer. The speech and debate team will be having a speech night on April 30th at 6:30 p.m. in the PA building. We will be showcasing the student work that will be heading to the state tournament on May 1st. Tickets are $5 and may be purchased at the door or from any speech and debate student beginning April 21st. And you can also ask me. Maya earned first place and won the state title at the FFA state speaking competition, as well as Landon placing 5th high individual overall. Gianna Gonzalez placed 2nd high individual, and Ashley Romo Moran placed 3rd high individual. Turlock has also recently had the opportunity to go to the Fresno State Field State Finals. And here are the results. Fruit tree judging, 2nd high team in the state. Diego Progredo, 2nd high individual. Alexis Barragon, 3rd high individual. Isabella Andrade, 9th high individual. Farm Power, 4th high team in the state. Hayden Lopes, 6th high individual. Vegetable Crop, 2nd high team. Liliana Corrals, 1st high individual. Dulce Duque Sandoval, 10th high individual. Ag Mechanics, 4th high team. And Caleb Wilson, 6th high individual. We're pleased to announce that our boys tennis team is currently undefeated in league play. Turlock Boys Golf is undefeated in league as well and will be in league championships again. It's been 5 straight years in a row and we are very proud of them. Thank you, it's my pleasure to be here and represent Turlock High School.
Thank you, Ms. Vargas. Ms. Rice, Pittman High School.
Good evening, Interim Superintendent Laddick, Board President Silva, and members of the board. Here's what's new at the Pride. Voting for the ASB Green Team begins Monday and closes Wednesday. Winners will be announced on Thursday during 5th period. ASB is also planning the end of the year luau to celebrate our seniors and all of their future destinations in the fall. Lastly, each ASB class will be celebrating Teacher Appreciation Week in different ways once we come back from spring break. Over 200 seniors completed their FAFSA by a deadline and were placed in a drawing headed by Stanislaus County of Education, 6 Cups to College, and others. 47 Pittman seniors won $25 Amazon gift cards and one even won a laptop. We have 35 Pittman students receiving their seal by literacy this year. The languages include Spanish, Punjabi, and Hindi. This year we have an outstanding student demonstrating proficiency in 3 languages, which is English, Punjabi, and Hindi. Pittman will also be well represented with 2 students selected as speakers for the event. Pittman juniors were busy with SBAC testing for reading and math last week. This week, some of those same juniors and additional seniors are taking part of the CAS test for science. Pittman has shown an increase in the California dashboard thanks to last spring's testing, and we are aiming to continue this show of growth. Congratulations to Kayla Thompson for being awarded the Reagan Leadership Medal. The 3 major characteristics that are taken into consideration for the medal are drive, humility, and service before self. Nominated by staff on campus, Kayla is seen to exhibit these characteristics to the fullest. HOSA is helping out with science in the community on Thursday at Brown Elementary. Some topics include hand washing, anatomy and physiology bingo, and blood pressure / heart rate activities. Recently, Christians in Action Club leaders met to plan out a sermon that took place in the library. Senior Emmanuel Rodriguez gave the sermon and spoke to fellow students about the Lord's Prayer and how to pray as a Christian. Over 50 students attended the event. Key Club donated clothing and hygiene items to the Weak Cares shelter. Additionally, the club had their annual field trip to Santa Cruz, and this year they collaborated with Turlock High School, and it was a blast. FFA will be hosting its spring debate grant on May 15th at 5:30 p.m. On behalf of the officers and advisors, I'd love to invite any of the board members to attend and celebrate our accomplishments from the school year. If interested, feel free to email me to RSVP. We will be recognizing over 100 students and their accomplishments in ag classes, career development and leadership development events, SAE projects, committees, and even scholarships. On Friday the 11th, Pittman High Assyrian American Club celebrated their 6,775th Assyrian New Year. Club officers Hannah, Olivia, Natalie, Ayana, Nicolette, Asagi, Lynette, Nineveh, Dimitri, and Jennifer all presented on distinct parts of the Assyrian culture, history, traditions, clothing, food, dancing, and much more. With over 130 students, staff, and parents in attendance, this is the biggest event they've had yet, and want to thank all those who attended. Last week, the Pride for Cause meeting provided an exciting opportunity for students to learn about the remarkable abilities of scent detection dogs. The highlight of the event was a demonstration by Whip, a trained scent locator dog, accompanied by its handler, Maureen Campos. Leading the group for spring sports is boys volleyball, who are currently 8-0 in league and have a chance to host the playoff game in a few weeks. Swim celebrated their senior night with victories for both boys and girls over Gregori. Senior Jada Salazar broke the 1-minute mark in the 100-meter freestyle with an amazing time of 59.24 seconds. The swim teams will be participating in the Sea Cattle Championships later this week. Senior Day festivities are planned later this week for boys tennis, boys golf, boys volleyball, and track and field. This concludes my student report for the evening. Thank you, and welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Rice. Next are the announcements. We have Scholar and Staff Recognition Program at Pittman High School Gym this Wednesday, April 16th. April 18th through the 25th is spring recess. And Tuesday, May 6th, 6 p.m. is our next board meeting. Next on the agenda is the consent calendar. Are there any questions or comments about the consent calendar from the board? From the public? If not, could I have a motion?
I move to accept the consent calendar.
I'll second. It's been properly moved and seconded to accept the consent calendar. This is a roll call vote. Ms. Carlson?
Aye.
Ms. Jackson?
Aye.
Ms. Amy?
Aye.
Ms. Martinez?
Aye.
Ms. Ramirez?
Aye.
Mr. Shields? Aye. And Board President votes aye. Motion carries to approve the consent calendar. Next on the agenda is educational services. It's an information item, item 27. Mr. Ogden.
Thank you. Board President Silva, members of the board, student representatives, Superintendent Laddy, and members of cabinet and those in the audience. Good evening and welcome to my presentation. Growing Stronger. Our success with PBIS and restorative practices. This session aims to provide insight into how these frameworks have positively impacted our schools and TUSD. We will explore how these practices not only enhance student behavior, but also foster a supportive community that encourages learning. As we navigate through the presentation, I will present key data points, share success stories, and outline our goals moving forward. Together, we can continue building on our progress to create an inclusive and thriving educational environment. Imagine a school where conflicts are resolved through dialogue. Suspensions are significantly reduced, and students feel valued and heard. This vision is not merely aspirational. It is becoming a reality in TUSD. Our commitment to implementing positive behavior interventions and supports and restorative practices has led to a transformative shift in our school climate. Today, we will delve into the details of our journey, showcasing the positive outcomes and potential for further success. As you listen, think about how these approaches could be expanded to foster even greater engagement and support in our schools. Positive behavior interventions and supports and restorative practices are two integral frameworks guiding our approach to create a supportive school environment. PBIS is a proactive, tiered system that focuses on teaching and reinforcing positive behavior. It operates on 3 tiers. Tier 1, universal interventions for all students. Tier 2, targeted interventions for at-risk students. Tier 3, intensive supports for students with significant behavioral challenges. In contrast, Restorative practices aim to build community and address harm through restorative dialogues, processes such as restorative conversations, restorative circles, restorative conferences, and restorative action plans. These practices prioritize relationships and conflict resolution over punitive measures, fostering a culture of respect and empathy. Together, PBIS and restorative practices creates a comprehensive framework that encourages positive behavior, supports social emotional learning, and enhances overall school climate. This slide introduces the PBIS framework, visually represented by a triangle, a key symbol of PBIS. We'll explore it from the bottom up. At the base is green, this Tier 1, the foundation for prevention. When implemented with fidelity, Tier 1 supports 80% of students through universal strategies like clear behavioral expectations. Moving up to the yellow section, Tier 2 focuses on target group intervention for approximately 15% of students. This includes restorative practices such as circles, character building programs, and check-in, check-out systems. Research from the National Center on PBIS in 2020 shows that effective Tier 2 interventions can significantly reduce suspensions and punitive discipline by addressing needs early. At the top in red, Tier 3 represents individualized support for 1 to 5% of students. Even when Tiers 1 and 2 are implemented well, this might involve SST referrals, behavioral support plans, or mental health counseling. This tiered approach ensures every student receives the right level of support, fostering a positive and equitable school environment. Get ready to celebrate some incredible wins. Over the last 3 years, our schools have made phenomenal strides with PBIS and restorative practices, transforming the way we support our students. Here's the exciting news from TUSD. Suspension rates plummet. We've slashed the total number of suspensions by an astonishing 78%, paving the way for more positive, supportive approaches to discipline. Restorative practices soar. We've boosted the use of restorative practices like conversations, circles, and conferences by an impressive 85%, creating a vibrant, inclusive school environment where students thrive, leaving outdated punitive measures in the dust. Even better, we're harnessing the power of school-wide information, SWIFT, to track these game-changing behavioral metrics. This data doesn't just showcase our victories, it fuels our passion for future initiatives, driving us to elevate school climate and success to new heights. Teachers play a vital role in successful implementation of PBIS and restorative practices. In our district, educators have embraced these frameworks through various initiatives. Tier 1 implementation, teachers are trained to establish clear expectations for behavior, such as being safe and respectful, which creates a positive classroom culture. Small group support. Tier 2 interventions target support for students who need additional help, enhancing engagement and attendance. Restorative practices. Educators facilitate restorative conversations to resolve conflicts and build relationships, replacing traditional punitive measures with growth opportunities. Data tracking. Teachers utilize SWIFT to log behaviors, allowing for real-time adjustments to teaching strategies and interventions. These practices empower teachers to create supportive environments where students can thrive, build resilience, and develop conflict resolution skills. Stanislaus County of Education, TUSD, PBIS and USD leadership teams are essential in driving the success of PBIS and restorative practice in our schools. Their roles include training and development. SCO has successfully trained TUSD staff in PBIS and restorative practices, with plans for further training sessions in the 25-26 school year to ensure all staff are equipped. System support. PBS leadership teams work with each school to monitor progress using SWIS data, leading to a notable decrease in suspensions and increase in restorative practices. Community engagement. Parent conferences now incorporate discussions around restorative practices, fostering collaboration between families and schools. Through these initiatives, PBS leadership teams at each school site serve as the backbone of our efforts, ensuring that both staff and students are supported in fostering a positive school culture. Our PBS leadership teams at each school site establish behavioral expectations, clear school-wide rules designed to unify our community. These expectations paired with specific behavioral examples by setting, create a shared language, experience, and vision. The result, a positive, cohesive school culture. Why is it limited to only 3 positive stated examples? Research from the University of Oregon's PBIS Center 2019 highlights 3 key benefits. First, they're memorable, ensuring students and staff can recall them easily. Second, they generalize across contexts, reinforcing consistency. Third, they align seamlessly across staff and settings, streamlining implementation. These expectations foster a predictable, consistent, and safe environment, hallmarks of an equitable school. With PBIS, we're building a foundation for success, one clear rule at a time. This poster presents an example of our school-wide behavioral expectations at the high school level, designed to foster a positive and equitable environment through the PBIS framework. The poster features a table outlining 3 core expectations: be safe, be respectful, and be responsible. Across key settings in the classroom, lunch areas, common spaces, school activities, technology, and social media. These expectations provide a clear, consistent framework for all students. Research from the Center on PBIS 2020 shows that schools implementing such well-defined expectations see a 20 to 60% reduction in disciplinary incidents, promoting a safer and more inclusive school environment. This poster exemplifies our commitment to supporting student success across all facets of high school life. The implementation of PBIS within the classroom is a collaborative and systematic approach to fostering positive behavior. The PBIS leadership team first establishes clear behavioral expectations for the classroom. These expectations are then refined by grade level teams, incorporating valuable input from all teachers to ensure alignment and relevance. Individual teachers supported by the PBIS leadership team and their grade level colleagues define specific procedures and routines tailored to their classrooms. Finally, these expectations are explicitly taught to all students, ensuring consistency and clarity. Research from the National Center on PBIS 2022 underscores the effectiveness of this structured approach, demonstrating that classrooms with well-defined and consistently taught expectations see a significant reduction in behavioral disruption, creating a more focused and equitable learning environment. This process reflects our commitment to support both educators and students through PBIS. This slide showcases our PBS store at Wakefield Elementary School, a vibrant hub of positivity that celebrates students who meet our behavioral expectations. Imagine this: a vibrant store filled with rewards where students earn Wildcat bucks for demonstrating safe, respectful, and responsible behaviors, like sharing on the playground or helping a classmate in the classroom. They can redeem these bucks for fun rewards, from pencils to extra recess time. This store isn't just about rewards. It's a cornerstone of our PBIS restorative practices framework, teaching and reinforcing social emotional skills both in the classroom and school-wide. By acknowledging positive actions, we encourage students to internalize these behaviors, fostering a supportive school culture. Research from McCart et al. 2014 in the journal Positive Behavior Interventions confirms that acknowledgement systems like this can increase student engagement by up to 50%, making the student store an essential tool for building a thriving restorative community. The legal framework supporting PBAS and restorative practices is critical for ensuring compliance and guiding our efforts. The California Ed Code sections 48900.5 and 48911.1 emphasize that suspension should be the last resort, that students must receive support during disciplinary actions. Our restorative practices and supportive measures align with these regulations, ensuring that we are not only meeting legal requirements, but also fostering a positive and inclusive school environment. Further, our district policies align cohesively with the principles of PBIS and restorative practices, creating a cohesive framework for our approach to student behavior and disciplinary action. Key policies include Board Policy 5131, student conduct, promotes a positive climate where PBIS expectations are enforced through data-driven practices. Board Policy 5144, discipline, encourages alternatives to suspension, supporting our shift towards restorative practices. Board Policy 0410, our data shows a notable reduction in suspensions for historically marginalized groups, demonstrating our commitment to equal access and equal justice for all TUSD students. This alignment ensures that our implementation of PBIS and restorative practices is not an isolated initiative, but a fundamental aspect of our educational philosophy, supported by our governing policies, and sends a powerful message to our students. They are valued, heard, and supported as they navigate their educational journeys. As we look towards the future, our goal is to continue to expand the implementation of PBIS and restorative practices across all schools in TUSD during the 2025-26 school year. Our planned next steps include increased utilization of SWIS. We aim to complete our full PBIS and restorative practices rollout by increasing the utilization of SWIS and training in restorative practices. Targeted goals, our objectives include reducing suspensions, increasing the use of restorative practices to teach and reinforce age-appropriate social-emotional learning skills. Progress monitoring. Regular check-ins and assessments will be conducted to evaluate the effectiveness of our initiatives and make necessary adjustments. With continued commitment and collaboration, we can build on our successes and enhance the educational experience for all students in TUSD. In closing, as we continue to refine our practices and expand the implementation of PBIS and restorative practices, we invite you to be part of this transformative journey. Your insights and feedback are invaluable as we strive to create an inclusive and supportive environment for all learners. Let's continue this conversation and lead the way in excellence together. What questions do you have about our progress? How can we work together to further enhance our practices within TUSD? So I open the floor to those questions moving forward.
Are there any questions from the board? Ms. Carlson?
I really appreciate your leadership in this area, Mr. Ogden, and this is just very important work. I have a question and I have a comment. My question is just that, I see that their schools are, some are at tier 1, some are at tier 2, they're kind of, different, they're in different places in bringing it to the sites, and I just was curious, I appreciate that you shared the next steps, but are they opting in to increase the, continuing through the training to the tier 2 level, or are we gonna do that at all sites? Sorry for not.
Yeah, so where we're right now, that's a very good question. No, right now where we're at is some of our schools, and you can see on the first page, we had PBIS rewards, some of our schools are ahead, they scored higher in tier 1 and tier 2 than other school sites. So all school sites have received tier 1 training.
Okay.
All of them, for the most part, are received tier 2, but we're going back with some school sites and retraining in tier 1 next year. And then we're also training some school sites that need more tier 2 interventions, training those school sites. So this last training year, we did a lot of training in tier 2 interventions, referrals to those. Next year, the training, we're going to do a combo training of TBIS tier 1 and tier 2 for most of the sites. One site's going to have mainly tier 2, but all sites are going to get a heavy dose of restorative practices. So we're going to focus a lot on that intervention piece next year.
Okay, so it's essentially, you're tailoring it to what the needs of the sites are.
Correct.
Which I really appreciate.
We have the school sites broken down into cohorts, so when we go and do the training, they're done within that cohort based on where they're at. And then we do a needs assessment. We do 2 tier 2 needs assessments to see where they're at. We do one at the start of the year, and we just did one here, I believe it was in March. We walked around and did the needs assessments. And then the staff that have their PBS leadership teams in county, they do their all own self-reporting needs assessment based on what they have available at the school site.
Got it. And then just my comment is I really appreciate in the school expectations that you have here in the examples, that it's saying what to do, not what not to do, right? So it's just giving really clear expectations of the behavior we want, and I feel like so often we focus on the behavior that we don't want. So it's just so positively communicated, and I just appreciate that.
Just at the key point of PBS, so let me do a lesson right here.
Positive
All
behavior.
expectations are positively stated.
Yeah.
And if you think about this, when you learn how to drive a car, they always said, okay, you're coming up to the corner, turn right. They didn't say, don't turn left, right? You wouldn't learn. Use the brake. Doesn't say, don't use it, so you learn. That's basically, you take it to a skill like learning how to drive a car, and you roll that out to behavior. A lot of the reasons, things we're teaching behavior, we weren't teaching it the right way. It says positive expectations, what to do, and you keep that positive focus. The other thing that ties into a lot of our students come to school with trauma, right? They come from toxic home environment situations they come to, and when you negatively reinforce a student traumatized, all you do is increase that trauma. So one way to de-escalate that and to get the student engaged and focused is to be positive with your expectations and positive with your reinforcement, and that's how good they respond to that.
Yeah, I love it. I so appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Ms. Martinez?
You're singing my tune, Joe, and I just have kudos to you because you have been working on this before the state and community actually integrated it into law. And so I want to thank you. Data doesn't lie. You have been diligent in making sure that the state level of what this was integrated for, that was part of my framework. I appreciate you because we talked behind the scenes way before it even happened. And you have taken this to the next level that TSUD is actually being recognized for the efforts that you have made, Bill. And I just want to openly thank you for that. The whole concept of restorative practice is so that we can diminish the school to prison pipeline along with integrating State Bill 419, where we don't expel or suspend before we use everything on site first. And you ran with that, and you trained, and you did everything the state wanted you to do. And I want to thank you for that. Data doesn't lie.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate your support of our PBS restorative practices.
It's our framework. We want to continue it countywide. Thank you.
Ms. Ramirez?
I just wanted to kind of piggyback on what Ms. Carlson was saying is what I'm hearing out there is that from kids, I know what is expected of me. You kind of touched on it. There's some families that they don't really know what's appropriate to wait in line or to, not speak out. So those expectations, it's like, oh, this is what it looks like. And that is something that is really positive. And just that the staff and the teachers are jumping in and working together as a team, I think you can clearly see. So congratulations to your team and to really everyone else.
They're doing it. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Any other questions or comments from the board? From the public? If not, I'd like to take. Oh, I'm sorry.
Good evening, Jennifer Collins, fifth grade teacher. Gail, I just have a question. The slide right before this is a series of literature. Is that training coming up for teachers? Is it a book study? I missed what the intent of all that is.
Yeah, well, these are book studies, this is the teacher right here, so these are our next steps. So these are books and study materials that we have the administrative teams at the sites. We're gonna collaborate together and put some of this together to provide more support to teachers.
Okay, so it's coming down our way.
Right, and some
Awesome.
of your teachers have requested some of this, have to you guys, it's coming your way.
I appreciate the clarification.
Jill,
Thank
these
you.
are summer assignments for all teachers.
I just want one.
Multiple choice now.
Multiple choice, okay.
I just wanna say in closing right here that, I don't know, some of you don't know me very well, but I started in Turlock in 1987 working in a group home foster family agency. So I spent 7 years as a social worker, counselor, working with foster group home kids, moving around, making minimum wage, whatever it was at those days. I started in 1995 as a school psychologist at Turlock High School. I covered Turlock High, I covered the junior high, I covered Roseline. I was on the school site, I ran the SSTs, the 504s, I counseled kids. I've been doing it until 2002. Since 2002, I've been doing this job. But I have to say, in my whole career here in Turlock, I have never been more excited and more impressed with the work that's been done this last school year and the last 2 years of progress that we've made. So I'm really excited about this, and to know where we were and where we're at now, the difference is really amazing. Okay, and unfortunately, I'm old enough to have seen that, so thank you guys, I'm gonna go sit down.
Thank you, Mr. Ogden. Item 28, Ms. Ennis.
Good evening, Board President Silva, Board of Trustees, and David. At our last board meeting, I shared information on the reading difficulties risk screener as well as the work of our adoption committee. And our committee, I'll put it here. After looking at all of the different screeners, again, I wanted to share that M-Class Dibbles 8th edition, M-Class Lectura is the recommendation of the committee. Are there any other questions that I can answer?
Are there any other questions from the board? From the public? If I could have a motion? I'll move to accept recommendation.
Second?
It's been properly moved and seconded. This is a roll call vote. Ms. Carlson?
Aye.
Ms. Jackson?
Aye.
Ms. Amy?
Aye.
Ms. Martinez?
Aye.
Ms. Ramirez?
Aye.
Mr. Shields? Aye. And Board President votes aye.
Thank you.
Ms. Sanders, thank you very much.
The clapping night.
Next item is under Human Resources. Item 29, Mr. Urano.
Good evening, President Silva, members of the board, interim superintendent Laddick, student representative, cabinet members, and fellow guests. This evening, I'm requesting the board approve the annual declaration of need for fully qualified educators in the event suitable and fully prepared teachers are not located prior to the start of the 25-26 school year. This annual declaration authorizes the district to apply for and the California Commission on Teacher Credentialing, CCTC, to issue the district with emergency or limited assignment permits for teachers. These permits are issued for a period of 1 year. Please note the district uses these emergency and limited assignment permits only after the district has exhausted its efforts in recruiting qualified teachers. The signed declaration of need will be filed with the CCTC before any emergency permits are issued for service with the employing agency. As such, it's recommended the Board of Trustees adopt resolution number 27 as presented.
Are there any questions from the board? Ms. Carlson?
We do this every year, I
We do.
think, Mr. Urano, and just to clarify, we may not need to use it, but we wanna have it in place in case we do,
That
right?
is correct.
Okay, so this is just
So
like
we're
a
being
defensive
preemptive.
move, yes, okay.
Are there any other questions from the public? Can I have a motion, please?
I move to adopt resolution number 27/2024-2025.
I second.
Has been properly moved and seconded. This is a roll call vote. Ms. Carlson?
Aye.
Ms. Jackson?
Aye.
Ms. Amy?
Aye.
Ms. Martinez?
Aye.
Ms. Ramirez?
Aye.
Mr. Shields? Aye. And Board President votes aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries. Thank you very much, Mr. Reno. I appreciate that. And we'll move on to item number 31. Superintendent Vladeck, please.
All right, good evening once again, President Silva, members of the board. It is my pleasure this evening to recommend Ms. Janine Arkelian to the position of principal at Goodman High School. Ms. Arkelian has been working in TUSD since 2002, when she started serving as a substitute teacher. She then taught the elementary level for 12 years until she became an instructional coach and worked in that capacity for about a year and a half. She served as assistant principal for 3 years at 2 different sites, Brown and Kroll, before leading at Cunningham as a principal for 3 years. She has been the assistant principal of curriculum instruction at Turlock High School since 2022 and is currently serving as a chaperone on the Ivy League project trip to the East Coast. She has also worked as a lecturer at CSU Stanislaus, where she has provided instruction to students enrolled in the credential program related to educational philosophy, special education, diversity, school law, classroom management, instruction, historical trends, education policy, and the connection of childhood development theories to education. Ms. Arkelian holds a Master of Arts degree in Education Administration from CSU Stanislaus, and she is also tuned in from the other side of the country, but also listening live via telephone call with Dr. Dave Klein.
Congratulations.
Are there any questions from the board or the public? If I can have a motion, please.
I'll move to accept the recommendation.
Second?
It's been moved and second. This is a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Can we speak for the public? I mean,
Sure.
for community? Yeah, we were just discussing that as my friend Violet was just discussing on putting the names down there for your recommendations. And as you see, when you got it right here in action C, approve the recommendation of Pittman High School, you have no principal's name there. So we were just wondering why, it's like, why is there no name?
Well, I think it's a personal.
Yeah, I can speak to that. So, the Brown Act, just speaking to the comments that were made earlier, the Brown Act does require a written agenda, and it must contain a brief description. Recognizing the questions that were brought forward since the last board meeting, we did consult legal counsel, and I can follow up with a communication to you tomorrow so you can have a legal citation if you'd like.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
We're on a voice
We're on a
vote.
voice vote. Here we go. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Board President votes aye. Motion carries.
She says, thank you very much, but she'd like to stay as the CNI. No, that's kidding, no. She says, thank you very much, she's very great.
Congratulations, Ms. Arkelian.
I know it's 11 o'clock there, so she probably should go to that.
Congratulations.
Take care, bye-bye.
Next item is item 32, Superintendent Vladeck.
All right, thank you once again. It's also my pleasure to recommend Ms. Maribel Romero to the position of Director of Human Resources. Ms. Romero started in TUSD as an elementary school teacher at Wakefield in 2015, where she taught until she moved into an ELD position in 2018. She started her school administration career in 2019, serving as assistant principal at Wakefield and Walnut until 2023, when she became principal at Wakefield. Ms. Romero brings experience in the work of human resources through her tenure working as a family services supervisor for Stanislaus County, where she provided direct supervision, guidance, and performance evaluations. Ms. Romero has been a member of the CSEA negotiations team, LCAP steering committee, compliance and improvement monitoring committee, and participated in and is leading the culturally responsive leadership team at her school site. Ms. Romero holds a Master of Arts degree in education from CSU Stanislaus.
Are there any questions from the board? From the public? If I can have a motion, please.
I make a motion to accept Ms. Romero as.
I second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. This is a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Board President votes aye. Motion carries. Congratulations. Congratulations, Ms. McGrath. Next item on the agenda is under administration, board policy, information item. Item 33, Superintendent Latin.
Alright, thank you. In this section, you have copies of CSBA board policy updates reflecting the changes in the law. Topics related with these revisions include complaint procedures, district records, contracts, student records, student conduct, use of mobile communication devices, and mental health, just to name a few. These revisions are presented as an information item as a first read, and will come back to you for approval in May on the consent calendar.
Are there any questions from the public?
Yes.
Community, would like to know a description of what you are exactly revising, what it currently is and what your plans are to revising it to. We don't have a full description out. And again, under the Browns Act, we should have a 72-hour paper in front of us in order for us to review documents on what you guys are changing, especially when it comes to the UCP policy of addressing any complaints. We cannot just change the law because we want to change it. We have to go based on why you're changing it and is it legal to do what you're doing. So we just want explanation, please.
Certainly, this is why we bring it to the board as an information item, and then we bring it back later as action for approval. There should be copies of the documents in the back, and if they're gone, you can have my copy if you like, or President Silva's, it shows all the revisions.
That's my copy.
We weren't giving this ahead of time and we don't know what you were changing.
That's why it's just an information item tonight, so before it's
But I
approved.
found 72 hours prior to your meeting.
It was
I'd like to
posted in
review
the back,
those
yeah.
policies because I'm a
Right.
concerned parent and I'm a stakeholder.
Absolutely, I'm glad
Yes.
you are. And what the purpose is just an information item is for the public to have an opportunity to review those before the board acts on them in May. It's just an information item tonight.
Okay, so when are you guys voting on that?
The first board meeting in May.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Feel free to connect with me if you have any questions, if any revisions that are
Thank
in
you
there.
for clarifying that.
Are there any other questions? If not, move on to board reports.
Thank you, President Silva. I was able to attend Hadestown at Pittman High School, and it was phenomenal. I would have loved to get to the lightning piece, but the dates didn't work for me, and he added another show on Wednesday, so that's why I was able to go to Hadestown. And I think it was the best performance I've ever seen at Pittman High School. It was incredibly impressive, musically and visually with the sets and everything. I felt the impact of Prop 28, I really did, the Prop 28 money adding to arts because there was a budget for sets and costumes, people to help, and musically. Mr. Parton participated in that. Anyway, it was phenomenal. And then I spent Saturday, of course, with all of you, and both of you, working together to develop as a team. And I really look forward to the fruit from that work and having a governance handbook to guide our work together as we continue to seek the best of students and staff in TUSD.
Well, I too attended both of the spring performances. I don't think I made it last year, and they were really, really well done. Anytime you have high school kids singing and dancing, it was amazing. So it's just very, very much appreciated, all the hard work that goes into, and they thank the parents and the kids just did a phenomenal job. I'm just a preview, y'all attended the Saturday workshop. But I'm not gonna attend tomorrow. I think there's about 4 things I could be at tomorrow afternoon, for the award ceremony that we're having. And I'm just not gonna try and do it. And I'd also like to thank, Nicola Bailey's and her team at Kroll. That hour went by, I swear, in like 60 seconds. Yes, I'm sorry, the open house. Instead of 60 minutes, it was just like, I'm like, we're done. We have to go. So, but I really appreciate it. Lots of great things happening at Kroll, so thank you.
I had a couple weeks of attending
performances. They were amazing, starting with Walnut. I mean, that was so many talented kids, and to know the parents had stepped up, they transformed the cafeteria, they decorated everything, they made costumes. My favorite was the Be Our Guest song, where the kids came out with plates and forks and knives, and then they have 2 casts, so that more kids can participate, and that was really great too, to learn that. I went to the Lightning Thief as well, and that was wonderful. The kids are phenomenal in that. And also went to Hades County. Hades County was really, really good. So I'm looking forward to next year. But thank you.
Okay, my board report. I attended the open house over at Cunningham with Ann, and I just want to give her a shout out to her and her staff. There's just so much amazing goodness going on over at Cunningham, and no, you're not forgotten just because you're way out there. Trust me, it's noted. You are doing an amazing job out there, Ann. And I didn't realize how high the population of autism, and all those classrooms were just so welcoming, from the little guys to the big ones. So keep up the great work out there. I also too attended the governance training on Saturday. As a new board member, I am looking forward to serving, and excited, for my next 4 years of service and how we can continue to better serve TSUD families and stakeholders. Everybody right now is doing a tremendous job so far that I've seen. I attended the family information night with student panel. And it was so ironic because the guest speaker comes from Fresno and he's married into my family. So that was coincidental. And so I didn't get to share that with Marie. And so that was good. Miss Riley, she was on stage and I was just so proud of her. All of you guys were just so impressive. And you guys did a great job. We also finalized the LCAP, and I also was at E-Academy and we finalized their LCAP as well. So we're on our way to finalizing and sending that off to SCOE, hopefully with good faith. I also helped out with the food distribution. The Kiwanis team was out there and I had fun with Patty and Rufus, their retired campus security. They were fun to work with on that day. Marie had music going on, it was really fun. And then tomorrow I will attend the Pittman Scholar and Staff Recognition. Thank you, that is concluding my report.
Well, yes, just like everyone else, it's been a busy couple of weeks. I attended Dutcher and E-Academy open house, and so I really appreciated that. I also went to Walnut for the Beauty and the Beast. To piggyback on what Patty said, it's just the parent involvement that really makes it over the top, and the kids' performance are just spectacular. Yes, there were a lot of special times for that, different songs that I really liked. I also attended the Turlock High School Lightning Thief performance. I really liked the sets that they have, very imaginative. We are alive and well another year for LCAP. Thank you, Marjorie, for all of the work that we have. I think everyone is doing a really good job. I'm learning to really go by data-based information, so that's really important. Also, we attended the Turlock workshop governance team to set up some guidelines for us. I attended the Pittman Assyrian Club celebration, so that was really fascinating. I really appreciate the fact that our community celebrates our cultures. We celebrate who we are, and the food is pretty good. That's what I have to say. So thank you.
Yeah, so I was able to attend Dennis Earl's open house. It was a great event. There was tons of kids running around having a good time. It was a beautiful evening. It turned out to be fantastic weather for it, and it was well attended by the the students and their family members. And it was really just a really good evening. I got to catch up with one of my former teachers again, which was fun. So that was really good. Great opportunity for me to attend an open house at Dennis Roll. I also was at the Assyrian New Year celebration on Friday evening. It's always a special event when we get to celebrate culture that's a large part of our community and how diverse our community is. I always tell people, you could throw out every rule book, everything you could ever think about. When you come to Turlock, our community is extremely diverse. It doesn't matter what part of the city you're from or what part of the culture you're from. It's extremely diverse community, and it's wonderful to see our students celebrating their heritage with their parents, with their family members, and with some of our teachers and staff. So that was absolutely wonderful. And then one little fun note, I don't know if it still stands, but as of a couple hours ago, Tyler Soderstrom, a Turlock High School graduate, leads Major League Baseball in home runs. So he's got 7 this year, so Yankees and Aaron Judge, Tyler's coming for that title, so congratulations to Tyler and a successful start to the season. So.
As always, I enjoy the open house that we can attend, and Ms. Martinez and I attended Cunningham with Ms. Ellerson's crew. Great programs, great school, keep up the good work. And also, you have teachers that you run into that you had. I run into students that are teachers at Cunningham. That's the ones that I really appreciate. That really makes me proud when there are teachers at a good school. Attended both from Productions, Hadestown and the Lightning Thief. And the thing that's most impressive about those productions is watching how hard those kids have worked to do what they do. And then I can't help but think, will we see their name in lights someday? Are they on some soap opera or on some cruise ship doing a production? Or Broadway or wherever. But you stop and think about all the people that are in our movies and so on, they had to start someplace. And that's what I think about when I see how hard those kids work. The Rotary Career Day was excellent. That great panel gave students a tremendous perspective. Of course, attended the governance workshop. But I have a question for both FFA programs at both schools. Fresno State Field Day, is it the largest field day in the country?
I believe it's the state grants that are at.
They're larger? Okay. Anyway, because that's a huge one from what I remember. Anyway, that's my report.
I need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Move to adjourn the meeting. I'll second.
Probably moved and seconded, that we adjourn the meeting, all in favor say aye. Aye.